Hi friends, thanks for joining me. Today we're going to go over 3 different things that we can make really quick in the hoop with our machine with the designs already on your embroidery machine. So we're going to, and they're all going to be really simple with faux leather or marine vinyl, some kind of thick, and just some regular fabric. So this, I'm going to do something with this, so it's not going to matter that it has wrinkles, but you'll want a nice piece of fabric if you're making a gift. I'm just doing examples. Okay. All right. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to create an in the hoop gift card holder with embroidery on it. So I'm going to show you the steps that it's going to take, and that way you can take it and create your own version and make it personalized. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to hoop up some stabilizer. I would use any kind of stabilizer for this one and for the second one, actually for all of them. You can really use any kind of stabilizer. The thicker it is, the nicer it's going to hold, but it's not really going to make that big of a difference. So this is just cutaway, and I did a test stitch around it to make sure that it would hold a card. So there's our Costco card, fits right in there. All right, so that told me also that I needed a piece of my fabric needs to be about 5 inches wide and 3.5 inches tall. So I'm going to cut that out really quick. Lucky me, that 5 inches was right on the fold that it already had from being folded up and trapped in my little bin. Okay, so that's 5 inches wide, but we needed to be 3.5 inches tall. Oh wait, sorry. That's our 5 inches wide, 3.5 tall. And that is going to be bigger than you actually need. And the reason why is because I like to cut everything all at once at the end, and that way everything matches each other with the cut. So we're just going to do the top portion first, and then we'll add the back portion after we've added our designs. So from here, so what we're going to do here is called floating, where we just set it over the top of the design. We don't actually have to pin it down or tape it down, but if you wanted to tape it down, like this piece is kind of squirrely, if you're not a confident embroiderer yet, go ahead and take some tape and tape it down on the side, some like just plastic scotch tape. Just scotch tape. Okay, so from here we're going to go over to the screen. We're going to choose the shapes, and we're going to come over, we're going to choose the rectangle. And the rectangle on this isn't going to give us an exact rectangle. It's going to be a rectangle with rounded corners, and that's okay because it's a sewing project and it'll still look cute. So we're going to, oh sorry, I went through that pretty fast. So I chose line number stitch, or stitch number 10, which is just a regular running stitch. Choose adjust, layout, size, and then push this button to make it bigger, as big as it'll get in the hoop. Okay, and then from there we come back over here. Let's see, put your presser foot down and press start. Oops. Okay, so from here we're going to choose OK. Oh, sorry, on the screen. We'll choose OK. Then we'll back out completely, choose OK, and then we're going to put a little design on it. Just a cute, easy little quick design. Okay, adjust, layout. We're going to try to make it as small as we can. Oh, it won't go that much smaller. Well, let's try it anyways. I think it'll still look cute. And this one stitches out pretty fast. okay. And then from here, we're gonna set that, we're gonna delete all of this and we're gonna set the shape back up. And this time, we're going to keep the size big, but we're gonna run this about 3 times to make sure it's sewn in really, really nicely. So what we do from here is we grab our hoop off of the machine. And see, there's our cute little design. I think it turned out great. And there it is underneath it. We're gonna take our back piece, that's also 5 by 3.5, and we're gonna cover it. And this you can tape as well, but you can also see if it shifts. So stick it under there, make sure that it's covering the same area underneath where your material already is. I hope that makes sense. Let's get that hooped and then we'll adjust that a little bit better. Gently, don't lift too hard. You're not trying to hurt anything. You're just trying to get stuff sorted. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have the machine go right to where it's gonna start. That way it's a little bit easier. And I think that I will grab some tape after all, because it's hanging off the top up here. So really easy, super easy fix. Oops. And it should start right over the exact same line you already had. Okay, so it's all done. From here, it gets very, very easy. We're just gonna, so there's your front, there's your back, also nice and really good, strong. And if I missed a piece, but I'll show it to you in this next project. Now it's missing altogether. Anyways, take a piece of this same kind of fabric and make sure you have it in there when you sandwich them together, or actually whenever you put the first layer down, have a little loop, you know, like this. So when you lay this first layer down, have this underneath it, but enough underneath that it catches, and that way you can put a key ring in it, and you can have it on your stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and go right here. I'm not the best cutter in the world. Some people, myself included, get cutting machines to do this kind of cutting, but I still don't trust that they're gonna match for some reason. I need to just play with it more and do more trial and error, but not like my cutting skill is gonna look any better than that not matching, right? Look at that stuff. Anyways, so let's clean this up a little. And then you're gonna take a pair of pointed sharp end scissors, and you're gonna, or it looks like it's loose enough, I can probably just do that. Make sure you're only getting that back part. But basically you wanna get a little hole going. And you want it to be far enough down, which I did not double check, but you want it to be far enough down that this doesn't get sucked all the way into the thing. You want it to stick out a little. So there you go. Like I said, it's supposed to have one of these in there and have that on it, but you have a little pouch for cards, gift cards, IDs, whatever you want to use it for. And you know, you probably could just close it up by pushing everything in there, but the point is to have it easy access. So there's that first project, And I'll be back with the second project when I have everything hooped up. Okay guys, so I went ahead and did the second one and I made a whole video and everything, and then at the very end I realized that I missed a crucial point and didn't cut out the stabilizer, so you can't see what's in there very clearly. So that turned out fine, but dang it, right? So my mistake, your learning situation. Let's just move on and we're going to do it all over again. So we'll go up here to the screen and choose from the shapes. We'll choose number 5. We'll choose the number 10 stitch, which is just a regular running stitch. Go to adjust, layout, size it all the way up. And then we're going to put a placement stitch down. This you can do, you don't really have to do. Like, I mean, well, I'll just show you. You don't really have to do it, but it does make it nicer whenever you're going to put it. Oh, yeah, no, that's good. Okay, so step 1 is going to be doing the back part. So we're going to put a placement stitch down and then we're going to do this design on there, okay? Okay. I'm going to choose OK on the screen. We're going to back out of there, click OK on delete, get all the way out of there and go over here to where the designs are. And I believe it's design number 23. Adjust, layout, and we can make it bigger or smaller. It only shifts about I'll show you. Only goes a little bit bigger and a little bit smaller. So let's just go ahead and keep it small. It'll stitch out a little bit faster. Okay, so that's all you have to do for this piece, okay? But instead of flipping it over and adding the next part, we're taking the whole thing off. And we're going to hoop up another piece of stabilizer and get another piece of this set up. This is about 3.5 by 5 inches, and the little tab that you're gonna want, do I have one? So that we can do this loop right here. You want it to be about 3 inches by 1/2, or yeah, 1/2 would be best because it's going to be, you know, best for stability. So 3 inches by 1/2 inch would be good for that little loop. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so I've hooped up the new hoop with stabilizer, and the last step, it wasn't that important to have a placement stitch, but this time it's extremely important to have a placement stitch because we're going to be placing our loop and we're going to also be placing our clear plastic. So we want to know exactly where to place that. Okay, so if you didn't see, I chose number 5, and then I went over here and chose number 10. Adjust, layout, size, max it out. We want it to match the other one exactly. Okay, we're going to choose OK to finish sewing. We're going to grab it and pull it off of here completely because we're going to work on it right down here. Are we, camera? Okay, so you want to take your 3-inch long piece of, oops, sorry. This is faux leather, by the way, and you can find it at Hobby Lobby on the roll. But you can also find it marine vinyl is the same kind of stuff. Look up marine vinyl or faux leather, and I'll try to remember to include some links as well. So we want to make sure that we can tape this down up here, but we also want to make sure that this stays in the the sewing line and doesn't shift, which it did in my last one. Where did it go? So if you can see that, it was too short. It was like only a little bit in there. So we wanted to have a longer tail this time. So hopefully it won't shift as much and be caught in both of the next parts, so it doesn't shift. That's the dream, that's the hope. If you have clips, it probably will help. Okay, so then from here, we're going to put our plastic, and my plastic's a little bit longer. What I'm using here is just a piece of, and you'll have some of this soon if you have anybody who's into Barbies in your family, but any toy, you know, packaging has like this clear plastic. I just use that stuff. It's clear and it's, you know, it's got some mess ups on it, but you really can't tell. So this is packaging from a Barbie packaging, and it's pretty thick, but also thin enough that we can sew through. So I wanted to cut it down to the 3 by 5, 3.5 by 5 this way. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna place this over the top of it too, making sure that with both of them we cover the entire thing completely. Take a nice big piece of tape, get it up there on the top really good. Same with down here. It is a little bit wasteful, but keep your scraps because you can use them for loops and things like that. Okay. So let's turn it over and look at it, and we'll see the plastics all should be on the outside of that. That's well inside of there. It looks straight. The faux leather looks good. So let's go back up here to the machine. And we're gonna go ahead and move the machine to the start position. To do that, you push this button right here. And it moves, oops. It moves the machine to where the needle is gonna start. So that's really helpful before you put your presser foot down. And then the first couple stitches are going to be like dunk, dunk, and it's going to try to pull up. So go ahead and like hold your finger here, but you know, obviously keep away from the needle. Uh-oh. I lost my thread when it went around that. So we're going to run that again. When I rethread my machine, be right back. Okay, so I got it rethreaded and I ran it again and it went all the way around. I don't know if you can see that, but you can see it in a second. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go back up to the screen here, and we're going to reduce the size of this down to 5.7. And then we're going to hit sew again, and what it's going to do is it's going to create our little border for the window, and then we'll be able to cut out this piece and then cut out the stabilizer in the back, and that's what will let you see through the pocket. Okay, so hold on one second. Everything's good to go. Okay, and anytime that you want to reinforce the stitches, you know, to stitch this twice, there's never usually a problem with that. Just go ahead and redo that if that makes you feel good, but this is not something you have to do twice. Technically, these stitches probably will never come undone, but you know, never say never. Okay, so from here, this is a really crucial point. We need to take our scissors or X-Acto knife that I looked for and found and now have lost again. Okay, so we're gonna take the X-Acto knife and we're gonna cut around here wasn't sure if that got on there or not. Okay. Be very careful. Just push hard enough that you know it's going through, but you don't have to get really hard with it. And cut away from yourself as much as you can. Okay. All right, so you should have a little piece like that when that's done. And then at the end, we're gonna do the same, but we're gonna wait until we're done so we have a lot more structure to work with. I hope that makes sense. It'll be a little bit more thicker, easier to cut without pushing too hard. Okay, so from here, we're gonna take this piece and we're gonna match it to this, and then we're gonna sew it back on. But I'm gonna cut it down a little bit first so that we can have plenty of room for taping. Okay, so let's punch it back down that way. Sorry about the abruptness. Okay, grab your tape. And we're going to match. What's the most important part to match is going to be this back end. So you're going to want to take it and basically just line up your corners. Okay, and then make sure that that corner matches. And then you could place tape down on the edge of that, outside of the sewing lines. And then you just want to double check up here on the top too. Are they kissing each other whenever they get laid down? Yep, smoochy smooch. And double check up there that it's all the same. And it all looks good. Very good. Okay, and so from here, we're gonna run that running stitch again at full, like on the highest setting, highest size. So we're gonna max that back out on the size. We're gonna come back over here, and we're going to start. We're gonna start down here, and then we're gonna stop it before it goes around that curve. And that way we can keep that back part open. And that way we can slide things inside and out. So here we go. Okay. And then let's see. Okay, so from here, we're gonna hit the cut button. That little button right there. And then we're going to go back to this design. We're going to choose the number 10 again. We're going to adjust layout, size, make it big again, and run that one more time so that we can reinforce everything. Okay? Okay. Okay, accidentally pushed the button to make it do a back stitch just out of habit, and it was like, the embroidery machine doesn't do that. Okay, so let's go ahead and take it off of the machine. Okay, so before we take it off a hoop, this is when we're going to use the hoop and the extra tension that it gives and all that stuff to do the cutting around the edge so that we can have our little window. And then we'll pop it off and cut all around the edges. So I made the mistake of wrapping mine in tape so that it, you know, didn't get anybody, but now it's got all this weird residue on it. Probably should have saw that coming. Okay, try to cut away from you if you can. Press just enough to go through, but not enough to like go through the plastic too. So I'm not going to do the best at this, and it probably would be better with the hot cutter, like the hot knife that comes with the wood burning kit and stuff. but I can't find mine. I did look over there, but it's kind of a mess. I'm sure you understand. Oh, I fumbled that big time. It's gonna look really weird. That's okay. This is just a demo. You guys practice, or you know, probably have better dexterity or a sharper knife. Yeah, my blade is so not sharp. So dull. Okay. Well, in any case, I want you guys to see the concept of how this is more than show off how beautiful my work is. So right there, we're all done with that. Now we have the clear inside, as opposed to the other one where I accidentally left the stabilizer on, and it's all difficult to see inside. So in a second, we'll be able to see what the Costco card in it. But what you really want to put in here is like a business card or something with your name and phone number on it, or you know, some kind of contact information, because these are like for travel bags and stuff. Okay, so you want to start off up here cutting around this and just kind of making a neck, and you want to be like 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch around the edge of everything. Okay, and when you get to this neck, you just want to go up around that again. So from here, we're going to take all of these pieces, see that? And we're just going to cut right along that stitch line up there. And you got that end. It's a little closer than I would like, but it's there. Oh, let's get, okay, and then this piece and the piece of stabilizer. Oh wait, want to cut the piece of stabilizer then, and then we're gonna pull this back. I don't know why I just tried to sound southern. We're gonna pull that back and keep that out of the way. Take off the paper. I wanted to use a contrasting color that would show the stitches and everything, but it also makes it look really crazy when there's a bunch of stitches to have to fix. Ooh, that did not come out nice. Look at that. Like my machine. Oh, that was probably right when I had to change the thread. I don't know if you guys remember that. So here we go. And from here, we can stick a card in there that has contact information on it for you. That's how it came out. Like I said, get a sharper blade. Make sure that your stuff works nicer than mine does. And hopefully you have better dexterity, and so it looks good. Then you can just stick a piece of one of these fasteners, or whatever they call them, keychain pieces, onto here and stick it on your luggage. Get a little clip or something, like one of those, you know, carabiners or something like that. But that's number 2. So there's a travel tag, and we have a gift card holder. And if you put a lanyard on it, so that these two will match, if you put a lanyard on it, you do the same concept with this one, and put a little loop on it, put it on there. You can put it on a lanyard, and so they can carry it around with them. And now the next thing we're going to do is going to be a cord keeper, kind of the same theme, but a little bit different. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, for the third project, this is going to be an easy cord keeper, and what you're going to need that's a little bit external is going to be one of these pliers that you'll use to put your snaps on in the end. So if you don't have any kind of pliers, you might want to just order some. I think that you can also do this with Velcro. You can just glue Velcro on. You don't have to do the snaps. So what I've done here is I've already done a placement stitch, and then I went ahead and did the design on it to see how far it was going to reach out, because I knew I wasn't going to be able to make it small enough to go on this. Maybe I can make this a little, nope, this is maxed out too. So that's just how it is. That's okay. This is just a demonstration. You can try different designs and stuff. I was just trying to use the easiest, quickest design that I thought would print out on this machine, or sew out. Sorry. So from here, we're gonna go ahead and choose this button, choose the shapes. Then we're gonna come to number, oh no, not number 5, sorry, number 10. And then we're gonna go for the number 10 stitch as well. Oops, my fat fingers hit the wrong one. And then we're gonna choose adjust, layout, and we're gonna choose the size, and we're gonna make it as big as we can. Okay, we're gonna go back over here, down here. And let's actually get it to the beginning so nothing shifts. And then we can start here. Okay, so while this was happening, I was having a little, I don't know that I'm gonna do the flower on that like that. I think that I want to do something that I think will fit in there and look nicer, just in case I do want to give this to somebody. That would look cute on there, but it's 3 different colors and I don't want to change my thread out. I'm lazy like that. We'll just do this little heart design. We'll go layout, and let's see if it'll fit in there. Oh gosh, you weren't even seeing the screen that whole time. I'm so sorry. Okay, so what I did was I went into the shapes, and I'm on number 18. Adjust, layout, and we'll see if this size, by choosing for it to start or show us where it's going to start, and then we're going to push the button next to it and it's going to show us the path, so we'll know if it fits inside. And it does. Okay, so we're going to just go ahead and choose. And this is where you can also like add a name or an initial or something like that. We're just going to stick to something really fun. Okay, so that turned out really cute. I just love this little design. You can do this in freestanding lace too, I think. Maybe not. It doesn't really have an underlay. I wouldn't do it. Maybe you could do it on tulle or an organza so it can be see-through. That would be pretty. Okay, so this will be our outer part. What we want on the inside, this is where all the mess is, so we're going to kind of hide that and bring you guys back over there. Okay, and we're also going to, I thought I cut off, is this my loop? I went ahead and made a loop for this just because I thought it would be fun to be able to also attach your, like if you use this for cord keeper, you can attach your cord to something using the, oh, why can't, I do not know what this thing is called, but this attacher thing for keys. Key ring. It's a key ring. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I just have like, this is just Cordura nylon, I think, but it's not going to fit. Just some nice black oilcloth. That looks really good. Okay, so let's take this and we'll place that over that. Get our tape ready and tape it all down. But let's conserve our material. Tape it as close to the top die line as possible, or the bottom die line, whatever, but close to the die lines as possible so you're not wasting a bunch of material if you can reuse this. Okay. Okay, so you really only need the 3 sides since we're going to push it up that way. Oh, let's go ahead and get the machine set up to where it's going to start before we put all this on there, so that way it doesn't really shift very much. Let's go ahead and get out of here, click OK, and we're just going to run that same number 10 stitch for the tall rectangle, and 10, well, the 10 design and then shape, I mean number 10 shape, and the number 10 stitch as well. Go to adjust, layout, size, and make it big. And we're going to run this twice so that we can make sure that it's really nice and strong. Okay. Oh, the part we wanted to do. We want to do that so that the bar to put our material on is already up where this is going to start. Okay. Press to put down. Okay, so we're all done on the sewing machine. We do not need it anymore for that, for the embroidery machine or the sewing machine right now. So I'm just gonna pop this out now, and we're gonna do like we did with the others. We're gonna cut around this top piece. Cut down. Look how close it got right there. I made it a little too close. Oops. Okay. And then up the side. Okay. And then in the back here, we'll just push that down in the front, and then it gives you some tension. You can clear it up. I'm not the best cutterer, so it's gonna look like you're gonna probably say, oh, I could cut better than that. Oh my gosh. Well, you probably can, and I hope you can. I'm okay with my flaw. I just want you guys to see the concept of how this is done. This should have been more in the middle. I was eyeballing it from a distance, but that's, you know, that's the gist of it. You want to just basically make a taco. Okay, so if you want it to taco together, you want to do that. If you want it to go over each other, you're going to want to do that. And it's going to be important for you to really pay attention to how if you put them together like this, it's different than how you put them together like that. But we're going to go ahead and make a roll. That way that's not going to be off. So, all right, what we need though is a pokey tool and our pliers. And I got my pliers from camsnaps.com. And I'm sure now, all these years later, there's a lot more different wraps for it than just this one, but I really like that one. Okay, so we want to take this part and have it go over. So let's go ahead and poke through both. Be very careful. Just make sure that your poker is going through both ends where you want it to go. Okay. So for this one, you want this one to have this pokey part come up through the top. Right, Stephanie? No, I want that to be on the top. Sorry. Pokey part on the top. And then we're going to put our female end right here. The female part of the whatever. The female piece of these two. And we'll put them in the pliers and just squeeze. and that smashes that little point down in there, and it makes it a snap tab. So then from here, we want it to go above that and go over that so it looks nice and neat. So we have to have, I grabbed 2 females, oops. You need another pointy one, but this pointy one is going to come up through the bottom. Okay. When you taco it, if you were going to taco it for them to snap together like this, then this would go on the outside. So you could see both like finished pieces. The pretty button part would be on the outside. But since we're going to wrap it over, we're putting ours on the outside. And this is the this is the male, sorry. That's the male end, and this is the female end. Okay, and then in the pliers, there's just like a little kind of bowl that it slips into. So that's how it'll be easy for you to get it in there. You don't have to worry about it being perfect. It just slips right in there. Squeeze it a little. It squishes it. And then, boom, you have a snap tab. So now you have a snap tab, you have a cord keeper. Let's put a cord in it. Okay, so here's a cord. We just take it there, wrap it around, press snap, and it looks nice. Has a cute little heart on it, and you can put a key ring on it. You could even keep them together. So you can have it with your travel tag. You can take the travel tag off, or you can keep it together. You can have the other little thingamajigger. If I would have put a loop on it, that could also go on this. But in any case, here's the 3 different last minute projects you can make in the hoop on your machine with scraps. Well, I don't know if you can, I think you might want to make sure you have enough, but you can definitely make this with scraps. So I hope that this was helpful. I know it's kind of messy and kind of last minute, but that's kind of the point. I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.